All right, here we go. Welcome back to Golf Subpar with Colt Knost and Drew Stoltz. Before we get going, Sleaze, as always, you look fantastic in your RLX gear. You got the polo on. I've got the workout shirt on because that's what I do. I work out.
That's what you do.
And at RLX Ralph Lauren, timelessness has been at the core since the beginning. Born on the course but drawing on the tradition of polo, RLX celebrates classic and iconic products that are meant to be loved and during this test of time while focusing on performance-driven design. By blending the sophistication of style with the precision of sport, RLX seamlessly blends performance wear and elevated sportswear. From sophisticated styles to the most technologically advanced fabrics available, RLX is the ultimate in functional luxury and provides pieces that are ready for whatever the conditions bring both on and off the course. Ralph Lauren is the official outfitter of the United States Ryder Cup team and partner of the AJGA. Ralph Lauren is proud to continue its sponsorship of golf ambassadors Andrea Lee, Billy Horschel, Davis Love III, Devin Bling, Doc Redman, Jonathan Bird, Nick Watney, Sean Foley, Smiley Kaufman, Todd Anderson, Tom Watson, Trevor Werbelow, Troy Taylor III, Tyler Strafacci, and Zach Johnson. The RLX collection is available in select Ralph Lauren stores, exclusive private clubs and resorts, and online at ralphlauren.com. That's how you read, Sleaze.
That is how you debate. Right there.
That's
well
right.
done. Well done, my man. Scoop yourself a little RLX if you're out there listening. How we doing? You're up in Minneapolis. Got a little USAM coming up, huh?
Back to Mini again, second
Ever
time in
played
like 4 weeks. Yeah, done all right at the USAM, believe
Ever
it or not.
played it?
This was actually
Okay.
the site of my second ever USAM. Hazeltine National Golf Club. Didn't make match play, but it propelled me to win the next year at Olympic Club.
It motivated you. This one, Billy,
Yes.
I believe Billy Horschel shot 60 piece on the secondary
At
course,
the
if I recollect.
Chaska Town Club, yeah.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Good
And
golfing.
Richie Ramsey was your winner.
That's right. Richie Ramsey. Thought he was going to be a world beater at the time.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
But it's, man, I'm pumped to be up here. This is my second time covering the USAM. It is, I mean, as you know, it's just an awesome event. Someone's life's going to change at the end of this week. They're going to lift the Havemeyer and, I mean, get in major championships, always be known as a U.S. Amateur champion. It is a cool week, and we got a loaded field. Stroke play started today. They paired number 1, 2, 3 in the world together. How about that? Gordon Sargent, okay, Jackson Coyven, and then the guy who almost stole the show last week, Luke Clanton. By the way, finished the PGA Tour event, finished 5th, jumped on a bird, came over here, teed it up at 2:09 today.
Yeah, good thing he got the afternoon tee time. By the way, played 39 holes on Sunday. In that
Just 39.
swamp.
And
That
it
swamp
was not cold.
down there. And he had a chance. I mean, he finished on the back nine. Like, there's a weird world with all that went on with Max Graceman, which we'll get into, where he could have actually won that thing. But regardless, dude, his third top 10 in 6 starts on the PGA Tour. He's only, going to be a sophomore, I believe, at Florida State. Like, the kid's a joke. He's got to be – I don't know if he's got enough left in the tank. Like, that's a long Sunday to then fly there, play the biggest amateur event in the world on a hard golf course. He had the easier one today, but then get into match play, hopefully, and then – can be a long week from there. I mean, I know he's young, but damn, that's a lot.
Well, he is even par through 17 holes as we record this right now on the easier course, which is T81. So he's got to get after it. Gordon Sargent 3 over. That's a problem. And then the other one in that group, Jackson Coyven, is 1 under. Our man Preston Summerhays shot is 1 under through 9 at Hazeltine. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good because I was looking at the top 10 earlier right before I came here, and like the first 9 were on the second. We're not at Hazeltine, so. It's clearly a lot easier on that second one, but yeah,
it's
my
a
boy
big
Blades
difference.
Brown was 1 under. Cruz, I believe he was one under at Hazeltine. He's my early premature pick. Was just medalist at the junior am, but got ousted in the second round. How about he took a picture with Tiger? How about that? Things have changed a little in a couple of years for the fella. Became the first kid to ever be medalist at the USAM and the junior, and like in succession. By the way, Tiger's done it, but it wasn't in one after the other the same way. Blades was medalist at last year's USAM and at this year's Junior Am. So he's there's so many good ones. But what Luke Clanton's done has been a joke.
He didn't ask to take a picture with you and Kitty. He didn't ask to take a picture with you and Kitty.
I was sensitive at the time. It was a close match. You know what I mean? We're just pen pals now. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to watching him.
I can let you know he did get it in the house at 1 under at Hazeltine. So that's pretty good.
That's up there because I think 3 under was the lowest I saw at Hazeltine when I left there. But that's gonna be a sweet event. Legitimately, dude, one of my favorite events of the year to watch on television. I like it more than most of the professional golf tournaments outside of the major championships. It's a fun one, especially when it gets down to the last few matches, just because all that's on the line. Also, like no money, and I just enjoy watching like the kids play as opposed to the pros. It's a little more relatable, although they are disgustingly good.
And they just show so much emotion. I mean, it just means so much to these guys. The galleries walking down the fairways, it's just such a cool atmosphere.
Yep, that'll be awesome. You'll be up there covering that thing. We'll be looking for you. Hopefully, we get a big time matchup. Hopefully, Gordon Sargent turn that thing around. Like, we'd like to have world number one into match play, but he's gonna have to go tomorrow on the hard course.
As you know, I've not been very hot with my picks, and on the plane ride here, someone asked me on Twitter who I like, and I said, Gordon Sargent, I think it's his time, and he's 3 over on the easy course. Stay
Perfect. We're running hot. Actually, I got some hate on the way over on Twitter from a lady from Canada. I think a cat lady from Canada. I went a little hard on synchronized swimming, apparently, on the radio today, and she just bashed me about she said it was voted the most athletic people at the Olympics. I was like, okay, the synchronized swimmers are more athletic than LeBron. I got it. I'll go tell Ant and KD they're shit athletes. Yeah, it was beautiful. But yeah, we'll stay hot. We'll stay hot with the picks. Well, let's get into the Wyndham, dude. There's a lot of shit for that event.
Real quick though, I'm obviously a happily married man, but look out, ladies of Minneapolis. I'm cruising around in a sick minivan this week.
It's a nice piece you got there. What is that? A little Astro? A little shaggin' wagon.
The Toyota Sienna. It actually, by the way, the seat's incredibly comfortable. It's massive, but it rides kind of nice. I kind of dig it.
Actually, if you can get over just them being atrocious and like your old man river in them, they're actually pretty nice on the inside. The good ones.
They are.
They're actually pretty solid. You fill out people in there, so have yourself a time out there in Minnie.
It's awesome. But let's talk about the Wyndham Championship. Aaron Rai picks up his first PGA Tour win. This guy's been knocking on the door. It was a ridiculous week. I mean, no golf on Thursday. Then we played 9,000 holes in like 12 hours, it felt like. My feet are rather tired. I need a couple days to recoup. But Aaron Rai, man, he's been knocking on the door as of late. I didn't realize Trevor read off this stat. As far as strokes gained, as far as like the best ball strikers on the planet, 1, 2, and 3 are no surprise. 1, Scotty Scheffler. 2, Xander Schauffele. Rory McIlroy is 3rd. Number 4 was Aaron Rai.
It's crazy,
he's a
isn't it?
ball-striking machine. If he makes any putts, he contends. Yeah, it is. He's slower than shit, but other than that, he's a hell of a player.
He's not setting any. That final round, by the way, was a joke. It was like 520 or something. I mean, we talk about it all the time. It ain't ever going to change, but Jesus, it's so brutal to watch. And to call it, I mean, it's miserable too. But Aaron Rai, we went over his stats today on radio, and it's mind-blowing how good he is in like virtually everything, and he probably gets the least love from anyone. I mean, he hadn't won until just now. And by the way, even with this win, Colt, I would argue for a first-time winner, the story is less about him after the win than any other event I can think of this year, just based on what was going on around him. Max Gracerman, the meltdown, which is just brutal to watch unfold. I just felt like a nightmare. I was like, all right, even after the quad, Colt, eagle, quad, then the bird. I was like, okay, he's regrouped after the bird. He's going to come back. He's going to be fine now. And then 4 wiggle. I mean, it was just tough to watch, but I feel like all the attention's on Max Graceman and his kind of collapse, as well as Matt Kuchar and his decision there on the 72nd to stop play, finish in the morning.
Yeah, man, that was a wild situation. I was in our green room in the compound just waiting on the tournament to finish, and all of a sudden I hear Dottie Pepper saying, and Matt Kuchar's not playing any more golf. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is a joke, right? It's like, nope, he's done. It's dark. He doesn't want to be out here. Listen, I don't think it had anything to do with where he was on the leaderboard. I think he was frustrated with how the day went. The pace of play was horrendous. They only got 10 minutes between their last round, or the 3rd round and the 4th round. They were told they were going to get 30 minutes. He's 46 years old, doesn't enjoy playing 36 holes. This is just my opinion. I've not heard this from him. I think he thought Max Graceman wasn't going to finish. That's what he said in an interview also. But I just think it was a kind of a FU to everyone involved. He was frustrated with how things went for the day. He didn't play well. It had nothing to do with being tied for 12th. But then he came out the next morning, got a drop from a scoreboard all of a sudden, and ends up making par.
That's honestly more. I might have like more questions about that. I'm totally in agreement with you. I think it was more of a screw you, PGA Tour. You guys should have called this 40 minutes ago. We shouldn't have been out here. If it wasn't the FedEx Cup playoffs, we wouldn't be playing, and you're forcing us to go. But I'm a little confused, Colt, because it looked like he didn't race over there, but he went over to 18T and he teed off while he didn't know he was down there. But Aaron Rai was getting ready to hit the biggest shot of his life, and Kuchar teed off and pulled it into dead man's land. And that's where he picks it up. I have multiple still shots from the camera right behind him. bending down, marking his ball. You cannot even come close to seeing the golf ball. It's like ankle height Bermuda rough with trees directly in front of him. And at that point, I was like, dude, just punch it out and finish the hole. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not doing anything with this shot. Then the videos come out the next morning, and I'm watching him ripping a hybrid from the opposite fairway, which he still doesn't get to the green, by the way. But somehow he convinced Ken Tackett. I mean, rules officials don't just give you drops. He convinced him. But that is the sales job that he had to put on to be like, from this lie, I'm thinking of hitting a low hybrid under these trees that screams, and that scoreboard is right in the way of where it could go. I can't really see it, but you use the rules to your advantage.
I know where the scoreboard is, and I have a feeling, like, I wasn't there. I didn't hear the discussion at all, but I'm guessing Ken Tackett's like, I want to get the hell out of here. Just drop the ball. Let's go. I'm so over this.
And if that had happened the night before, Colt, let's just say, propose this earlier. I was like, say Kuchar was leading the golf tournament and hit it over there, and then wanted to have that relief. I'd be like, there would be no one in the world saying, yeah, go ahead and drop it over here in the fair. It just seems like even if that leaderboard is in the way, like, that's the closest place is 25 yards over there, just into the fairway, by the way, where you can get a hybrid on. It just seemed really weird, and he's getting destroyed on social media for it.
Good thing is he's not on social media. My agent called me and said I'm getting dragged pretty good, but I don't really think he cares. But it sucks for Aaron Rai because it did take a lot away from his win, which was so impressive. Final round 64 to get in there and just, like I said, been knocking on the door, but to finally walk through it, really impressive. And congrats to him. And I want to say congrats to our CBS team. That was our last event of the year. That was also the last event of my contract. But we had a hell of a year. It was wild. We had wind cancellation when Wyndham won at Pebble. We had Grayson Murray pass away. We had Scotty Scheffler get arrested. We had a complete rain out here. I mean, it's been a wild year.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on. Shout out to you guys, the entire CBS crew. You did a great job. Do you want to use this opportunity, being that the contract is up, it's contract year, to say a number that you would like?
I'm a free agent.
Get back to them.
I'm going to hold out like CeeDee Lamb for $100 million. Take it or leave it.
You think they'll have the same urgency as Jerry Jones?
Oh, they're going to panic. They're going to write me a check immediately.
Yep. Just say a number. Say a number. Speaking of football, the Broncos are back. I don't know if you saw Bo Nix play in preseason against the Colts backups.
Here we go.
We are.
Now you're all about Bo Nix.
We'll save it for another day. I'm a big Bo Nix guy, dude. I told you that. I'm high on this kid. You
knew Sean Payton knew what he was doing. You said it all along.
Exactly, dude. That's something we should have got into with our next guest, who knows a little thing or two about playing quarterback. But Colt, I got to tell you something that's a little bit special we've got today. Okay, a tequila that's as smooth as a perfect swing on the course. Get ready to dive into the world of Cincoro Tequila, crafted by none other than 5 NBA team owners turned tequila enthusiasts. Cincoro Tequila was proud to be a sponsor at the American Century Championship, which we were at just a few weeks ago. We were in attendance. He had the opportunity to visit their elevated activation on the 17th tee. Perfect place to cool down, have a little tequila, cool off, take the event in. We had a chance to meet the team. They were spectacular. Enjoyed a cocktail. But Colt, they got a new launch with these bottles. These are the 375 bottles, the customized. Got a name Drew here. Yours may or may not be here when you get back. To be determined at this point. Perfect gift for the golfer in your life. You can bring it on the course, enjoy it there by the pool in the summer. Cincoro launched the new bottle size in May, which is perfect for gifting and offers consumers the same beautiful design in a more convenient size bottle. If you haven't tried it, you're missing out. We love them.
Yes, we do. The Cincoro Club we were sipping on as we were talking with our guest, former Atlanta Falcon quarterback and now broadcaster, the great Matt Ryan, joins us on Subpar. Here he is.
All right, here we are, live from the ACC Championship. We got a special one. Longtime NFL quarterback, now making his way into the studio.
Yes.
Matt Ryan joins us. How we doing, brother?
I'm doing great. You guys doing all right?
All the great athletes end up on TV.
That's right.
Yeah,
when you can't play, you talk.
Yeah. Also,
talk shit about everyone else.
That's right.
Yeah. Congratulations, Atlanta Falcons Ring of Honor.
Yes.
I just saw the way they did it. I saw the video. That's really cool.
It was really cool. I had no idea it was coming. Raheem Morris had asked me to kind of come in and talk to the team, and it was cool. You know, I was excited to do that, but then he kind of surprised me there at the end, and it was special. So I'm excited for that this coming fall. It's going to be a blast.
Well, we were talking before we went on. You and Sleaze have actually played golf together.
That's right.
There was also a very special human in the group, one of our fan favorites, Mike Commodore. Commie was in there.
Yeah, Commie was in there. So my Commie story is, it's my first time ever being at Whisper Rock, and DA kind of set it up for us. I was there with a couple of buddies, and so I think it was me and Matthew Stafford were playing together that day with Commie, and we played 36 holes of golf, and about like 4 or 5 holes into it, he gets a couple cocktails, right? And he's like, nobody can drink tequila with me. No one can. And me and Steph are like, we're not trying to, dude.
No,
we're good.
We believe you.
I'm like 34 years old at the time. I'm like, I'm comfortable with, myself. So anyhow, we play the entire day. We play 36 holes of golf. We go into the men's grill, which is, I still think, like one of the greatest places on the planet to hang out after, a round of golf. And we're, having drinks or whatever, hanging out in the men's grill. And we all make this plan to meet up at one of the bars in Scottsdale. I think we might have been. I don't know what it is out there, but we end up going to one of the bars in Scottsdale. And so we all go back to our place, shower, change, we head back, grab a bite to eat, and then we show up at this bar, and Commie's sitting at the bar. And we walk in, we're like, Commie, what's up, man? And he like turns around. He had no idea who we were.
Just 36 holes together.
36 holes, like 9 hours we spent together that entire day.
So make sure to make it quick.
He was in like a blazer and everything. He was looking good. Had no idea who we were.
He's so special. By the way, we're going to get him back on airdrop here. Speaking of airdrops.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Speaking of tequila.
No one can drink with
Commie, you couldn't handle this, bud.
That's right.
We're going to have,
cheers.
I would say he is probably our listeners' number one fan. We have him at least once a year. Probably should have him more just because you just let him go.
Yeah.
But it'll be beautiful to have him back in and to tell his version of that, which I think will.
I'm sure he doesn't remember any of it.
Yeah.
He can't remember any of it.
He is a beauty.
Yeah, he's the best. He could play too, man. He was fun. The day we played, he got better the more he drank.
I remember playing with you that day. It's the first time I played, and Matt as well. Like, I was blown away by the two of you guys, how good it was. Like, Matt, you could tell grew up, like, his fundamentals are all, like, he's gotten lessons and stuff like that. But like, what's your digit right now?
It's like right around scratch, but I've been playing shitty, honestly, lately. But I'm hitting it pretty good. I just can't get off the tee. My driver goes all over the place.
The good news here, you don't have
feel
to
like you can hit 2-iron everywhere, which is perfect for me.
For you, this place is very short.
It's good.
Very
short,
narrow.
Ball goes forever. So try and hit a lot of 2-irons. But I love playing. To me, it's like, it's hard when you're done, right? Like your whole life, you're wired to go work out, go throw, go do that kind of stuff. I love practicing, to be honest with you. Like, I like going to the range. I like hitting balls. I like chipping and putting. For me, it's kind of like therapy.
Well,
that's a quarterback. 100%.
Yeah,
That's a quarterback. I feel like you're so used to routine to get better. Watch the tape, do all the stuff. It's
100%.
Like you do the same thing in golf.
And it's like it's like the perfect amount of time. I've got 3 young kids, right? So basically, I'm like Commie. I'm like the Uber driver for our family, right? Like, he was out there doing it professionally.
That's humbling,
or whatever,
isn't it?
It is humbling.
Yeah.
But my windows are like during the week, so I'll either practice or play with the old guys at the club, like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at like 9 o'clock.
Where do you play at?
I played a place in Atlanta called Cherokee Town Country Club. So good spot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good golf in Atlanta.
Yeah, there is. I mean,
give me the top few in Atlanta. Obviously, Augusta's outside of Atlanta.
It's 2 hours down the road, Atlanta East. But to me, my favorite places there, Peachtree's. I don't know if you guys have ever had the opportunity.
I haven't played it, but it gets brought up every time I'm talking to someone from Atlanta.
Man, it's so much fun when you get a chance to go over and play there. I've been lucky, to be over there at different times with friends, and that place is awesome. I mean, I'm excited to see what Eastlake's going to look like after the redo. I mean, I love that place, because of what they've done for the community around it. I think it's like really special how they've impacted the community around, the golf club. But to me, I think it was, it was time. It was time for, a little bit of new grass around there, maybe a little bit different look. And from what I've heard, it's going to be incredible. So I'm
excited to see it. Last year was my first year there, and I liked it how it was.
It was
old
good.
school,
it's a good golf course.
He's going to make it even better, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to see
that Golf Club of Georgia. How far is that? That's a good one.
Yeah, Golf Club of Georgia.
We used to play college tournament there, Georgia Tech's.
I played a lot there. So I used to live, like my first 3 years in Atlanta, I lived like 10 minutes away from Golf Club of Georgia. It's over in like Johns Creek. And I lived in Duluth. So one of my buddies, his wife worked there. So we played over at Golf Club of Georgia all the time. And it's sweet. I mean, both courses are good. They're hard. I mean, you got to drive it good over there. But there's tons of good golf. I mean, maybe not like crazy,
I'm not talking
top,
Hamptons.
Yeah, top 20, top 25
in
in the country. But there's a lot of like good golf courses in and around Atlanta.
I used to be a member of Golf Club of Georgia. They took it away.
What happened?
Well, like when you win the USAM,
win
you get a membership. And then I guess the new ownership took over, and they're like, "Nah, y'all are out."
Yeah, you're out.
It's not like I think I went once.
Yeah.
The whole
I mean,
time.
We're paying dues.
You
Got to cut the dead weight. You know what I mean?
I don't like paying dues.
Some
Whisper
dues
rock
payers.
only.
Yeah, one and done. One and done's good.
Who do you got in Atlanta? Is there any other like football players, former football players, or athletes or stuff that you like to go out there and mix it up with?
Yeah, man. I mean, in Atlanta, there's so many guys that are that end up retiring, like in and around that area. John Lester, I get to play with quite a bit. He's a member at the club I'm at in Atlanta. He's a ton of fun to play with. He pounds it. I mean, he's
a big boy.
He's a big dude.
Hasn't he
right?
played? Hasn't he played
Smashes
this
it.
before?
I think
I've seen him hit it out here on the long drive, and he smashes
He can smoke it,
Yeah.
right? And so he's a ton of fun to play with. I have backup quarterback that I played with 5 years in Atlanta, Matt Schaub. Schaub's a good dude, a ton of fun to play with. And, you know, I mean, just everywhere you pop around. Jerome Bettis, you talk about the Braves pitchers. John Smoltz is in and around there all the time, too.
Yeah.
So there's a good crew.
You should go play with Sung Jae. He moved there.
Yeah, so he's up at Sugarloaf.
Yeah.
He's up at Sugarloaf. So one of my
God,
best
I've lost
friends is
talk
the
about.
director of instruction at TPC Sugarloaf, and I've taken lessons from him for years, and I go up there every so often to play, and he grinds, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if
He
you like
is
to practice,
always-
you should go hang out with Sung.
I don't like to practice that much.
Yeah.
Like,
There
I
are
like to
no
practice
days
a little-
off.
None.
He didn't buy a
None.
house for like multiple
Yeah.
years on the PGA Tour because he just played every single week. He's like, I just stayed in hotels.
I mean, that's not for me.
That's
but-
a grind.
Yeah, it's a grind.
Let's go back to the playing days a little bit. I mean,
Okay.
I want to know, because we were talking about earlier. I mean, you're a quarterback. You get hit. We were talking about J.J. Watt earlier, how he admitted he knew how many times he sacked you.
Twice. Yeah.
Twice, J.J.? Loser.
What a weird memory.
That's it. It is,
I
but,
got sacked like 400 times.
Yeah,
or
it's on
something,
your O line, by the way. That ain't
it's not my
JJ.
fault.
Yeah,
Come on.
that was
if
O-line.
you can remember, who got you the best?
So the hardest hit I ever took was in college. So we were playing against Clemson, and people can check this out. You can just like type in Matt Ryan Clemson hit, and I think the guy's name was J.J. Dunham. He didn't end up playing in the NFL, but this dude absolutely smoked me. I thought I was like dead on the ground for a little bit, but hit me right through the chest. So that was probably the hardest I've ever been hit. But in the NFL, Julius Peppers hit me. I think it was maybe the fourth game of my rookie year. Smoked me right across the chin. I threw an interception that got returned for a touchdown, but it got called back because
Targeting?
illegal contact to the head and neck area. But that was, for me, it was like one of the hardest hits I've ever taken, and kind of at that time too, where it's like, oh shit, like this is going to be a grind.
Yeah.
Every week is going to be a grind. So that was the hardest. He was
a
freak.
special freak though, like basketball and football at
100%.
Carolina. Like that's at Carolina. That's
I
not
know.
like that's different.
We had rules for him, like every time we played against him, like if we had screens going his way, because, you know, trying to get a screen to a running back or something like that, we would like check out of it because he was so long, like there was no way to get it around him, and he had such a good feel for like sniffing it out. I think after I threw like one or two interceptions on it, they were like, no more. We'll go the other way. We'll check out of it. We'll do something like that. He was such a stud.
He's a different beast.
Yeah.
Give me another player, like when you were like preparing, you're like, good God, this is going to suck.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, I figured that was
Dude,
going to be the
We just had
Aaron Donald
Trey
was a problem.
McBride was talking. He's a rookie, or was a rookie tight end for the Cardinals. A brief career so far, but he's
Yeah.
a stud, by the
Yeah.
way. And we were asking him who's the scariest dude, and he had
That was
his
his welcome to
his
the
job
NFL.
was like to
Yeah.
basically cut block Aaron Donald on some.
So that job sucks.
He's like, dude, no.
Yeah, I don't feel like doing that. We played against them in the playoffs, and it was kind of, so it was maybe like 2017. I mean, he, like everybody knew who he was, but it was before he was just like the absolute game wrecker. And I remember Steve Sarkisian was our offensive coordinator. And so we come into this plan, we had like this whole plan about what we were going to do, all that kind of stuff. And at halftime, we had a lead, and he was like, yo, the game plan's out. He's like, we're either going to run the ball, we're going to throw quick game, like 3-step drop, get the ball out of your hand, or we're going to throw screens. And I don't care what the down and distance is the rest of the game, we can't block them. And we did it literally the whole second half.
Yeah.
And it's the only time that's ever happened in my career.
I remember watching Hard Knocks when it was with the Rams and watching him go through the ladder drill.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not human.
No.
I mean, that's just a whole nother level. He's
No.
a freak.
I mean, one of the hardest things for me to realize when I got into the NFL was that I was the weakest and the slowest player on the field at all times.
And you guys are big dudes. Dude, we walked by
At
Joe
all
Flacco
times.
earlier
He's
today. and
huge.
All of
Yeah.
us turned around. I was like, he's a fucking giant. Like, I had no
Joe
idea.
is
They don't.
massive.
And that's when you
Massive.
stand next to these dudes, the O linemen and stuff like that. You look like nothing. You look like a regular guy.
100%.
All five of us were walking around. I was like, oh, there's Joe Flacco. I was like, God damn, he's huge. Next person, damn, he's big. Damn, he's big. God,
Dude, these guys
couldn't believe
are
it.
all monsters, and they can run. right? Like that's the D linemen. It's unbelievable how fast and how athletic they are.
These combine numbers that like linebackers are run at their height and weight and their speed now. I'm like, dude, this is like, I feel like we've passed
100%. Like you shouldn't
evolution.
be able to be like
we're
6'6", 280, like 6% body fat and running like 4'5" as
a linebacker.
Exactly. It's wild.
Look at that. Look at that other quarterback over there. Romo out here.
Another CBS
Antonio.
guy right there.
Antonio
Oh, yeah.
Romo.
You got 3 CBS employees right here, Sleaze.
By the way, he was supposed to be out there. He sent a text like, I'll be at the range at 1:15. Look at your clock right now. What time is it?
I don't know my
I
watch.
think the range
Is it
closes
5?
like 4 minutes.
The range closes in 4 minutes exactly.
Yes.
It's almost 5.
Yeah.
Shocker, Tony was
Supposed
late.
to be here. He's like, I'll be up there at 1:15. Here he shows up.
Tony, the range closes in 4 minutes, bud. He doesn't care. He'll hit till 10. He doesn't care.
I'm a little bit surprised Aaron Donald retired, going back to the football thing. And also, are we convinced? I know you have a good relationship with him, work with him coming up. J.J. Watt, is he done? I mean, for a guy that's done, he's saying it's a pretty damn good shape.
He's yoked.
The picture he posted the other day.
It's like he looks bigger than when he was playing almost.
100%. I mean, I was with him a few weeks ago. We were doing some promotional stuff for the season, for the upcoming season, and he still looks like he could play. I'm sure. Part of it too is like when you're done, you're just so wired to keep training, and I'm sure like it was such like a passion for him, So for me, I like feel good. I feel better about myself, whatever, when I'm doing that. And I'm sure it's the same for him. But I hope he stays in the studio with us. But he sure looks like he could still play.
He's a truck. I don't think he can give up like the working out. I think that's in the DNA. Like he'll be 60 and he'll still be like waking up flipping tires.
Jack to look like Howie Long.
Yeah. How'd you like your first year on TV? You were with my man Andrew Catalan.
I was with Andrew Catalan. He was awesome to work with. I mean, he was so good to me. I had no idea what I was doing going into the season, and he held my hand through it for the first 6 or 8 weeks, but helped me out a ton of fun to be around Colt, as you know, right? Like, I mean, he keeps it light. He's always prepared. He was great. I got to work with Tiki Barber too, who was fantastic. AJ Ross was, our sideline reporter. So for first year doing it, I mean, you're lucky when you're around people that you enjoy doing it with. You know it. I mean, your guys' crew is as good as it gets, and I was fortunate to be able to do it with those guys the first year.
I tell everyone, like, working with Jim Nantz is a dream, and I can't believe I actually get to do it.
Yeah.
But the weeks when Andrew Catalan comes in, I mean, it's just so fun.
Yeah.
There's so much shit talking going back and forth. It is.
He talks a lot of shit.
He does,
right? And
he's pretty good at it.
He is pretty good at it. He likes to chirp a little bit. He watches like every sport. Yeah. I mean, he knows like college football. We would do like college football picks and stuff during the season just to have fun within the crew. And I mean, he's picking like random MAC games and stuff like this. And I know this guy, like whatever. He's a sports nut, but he's a ton of fun to be around.
He's awesome. He'll call into our radio show every now and then just to fuck around, and it's awesome. Yeah.
Tiki is, we were with Tiki, and Tiki's on WFAN in New York every day. And Catalan was listening like all the time. He's like, I had to bite my tongue so many times from calling in and be like, Tiki, that's bullshit.
So I got to ask, because I just remember this about one of the games, because a lot of people took some shots at Catalan about the 28-3 comment he made.
So,
can you tell the story?
He told you
I
what
know the
happened.
story, but for everybody, because like he took a lot of shit for it.
He took a lot of shit, and I felt bad for him because it didn't look great.
So the team's getting blown out at halftime, right?
Yeah, it was our first game. I think we were doing. Who were we doing? We were doing Minnesota versus Tampa.
Okay.
So it was a season opener, and we finish up at halftime, and we're grabbing a bite to eat before the second half comes out. And I jokingly am like, guys, it feels like it's 28-3. Like, this thing's over. And like Tiki laughed. Yeah. And I think Catalan was thinking about something and like didn't really put 2 and 2 together and went off and like whatever he does, his vocal exercises or whatever during halftime. And I don't think he like thought anything of it. And then he comes on air and says it like right out the half, and I'm like, that was not for air. So really, it was me making a joke beforehand, and he was just totally locked in. So don't give Catalan any shit for that. I mean, he's you can. I'm just saying, people out there, take it easy on him.
I remember seeing the clip. I'm like, Catalan, boy.
Yeah. There's no margin for error in that game. In the like broadcast game, you say one thing, you're like, oh wait, why did I say that?
100%.
You're getting pounced on.
Dude, I was shocked at how tired I was after the broadcast. So like it would click on, right? And I wasn't doing anything. I was just standing there trying to do replays, explaining what was going on, but it moves so fast, right? And there's so much going on in your headset and those kind of things. Like the game would finish and I'd be like, I would be wiped, man. I was exhausted after those. It's cool. It's fun.
Yeah, not everybody's built for this TV
Not
stuff.
everybody is built.
No,
You gotta
it's
be,
it's
you
a physical grind.
You gotta be
You
stallion.
You
I
gotta
gotta
really
walk
take
and
care.
talk, okay?
You gotta really take care of
Impossible.
yourself.
Impossible.
You're going to the studio now, though, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you excited about that, or do you want to be, do you like the
I'm pumped.
in game?
I'm pumped. I like doing both. So I did the games for all of the regular season, and then in the playoffs, I got to go up to New York for one of the playoff weekends, and then was lucky enough to kind of do some of that for the Super Bowl as well. And I enjoyed it. Like, I had a blast doing that. The team I'm going to work with up there, James Brown, I mean, he's just a legend when it comes to broadcasts, and Nate Burleson. Nate's like, he's so good. He's so
polished,
good.
man.
100%.
He's
He's
sharp.
so good when you watch him do his thing. And then we got Coach Cower, who's a legend. And then JJ, who's going to be on, with us at different times throughout the season. So, again, I get to do it with cool people. It makes it a complete, it makes it a game changer when you're doing it with good people.
100%. I was telling somebody earlier, like growing up, I'm a diehard Cowboy fan. So there's certain people you just hate because you have rivals with them. And Cowboys, Pittsburgh, early in the 90s were big rivalry. So I hated Bill Cowher. And then Ross Malloy has his golf trip, the Ross Cup. So I was a captain, and Bill Cowher was the other captain.
Oh, man.
So we get to hang out and play, and I get to know him, and I'm like, God, I wanted to hate you so bad, but I love you.
He's
You're
the man.
coolest dude on the planet.
He's the man. He's like the best guy in the world to just
he's
sit down
great.
and drink a beer with.
Yeah.
He's awesome, and it's been really good to me so far. So he's fun to be around.
That's
He
great
comes
career.
across like a dude on TV. That's exactly how he is in real life. You know what I mean?
100%.
There's a bunch of people that don't. I'm like, that's not the real guy. I feel like he is how he is.
100%. He's like the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He's super intense, but like the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Fun to be around. Loves football, and so for me, that's like the perfect combination of the guy you want to be around.
I got to ask, there's a man coming into the booth next year. It's making a little noise.
Yeah.
You should get one of his contracts, by the way. It's Tom Brady. He's making a little bit of money. How do you think he's going to be in the booth?
I think he'll be good.
Yeah.
I
Why
do.
wouldn't he?
Yeah. I mean, listen, he's thoughtful, has always been thoughtful, and he knows, he knows it as well as anyone, if not better. Mm-hmm. And I think the insights he'll be able to provide are going to be unique to listen to. I'm excited to kind of hear what he has to say, albeit on a different network. But I think he'll do great. It's like, I think the hardest thing is going to be like the technical side of it, right? Like understanding when to get out, how quickly to get out. But he's super sharp. He'll figure those things out quickly.
Yep.
He'll be prepared, I'll tell you that.
100%. He's going to be prepared.
Hopefully he's good at it. He could use some good things happening. Yeah, he's
he hasn't.
such a tough run.
Yeah.
Did you watch the roast?
Yeah.
I watched. So I
You can be
started
honest.
it. No, so I started it, and then I was like, I can't really watch this, right? And so then I saw like the bits and pieces of it.
The highlights?
I saw the highlights.
He got pretty good.
He got, man. Yeah. And that's what I was like. And I really like Tom, right? And so it was like funny, but then I'm also like, oh man, I feel bad for my guy right now.
Yeah. There was some stuff, I mean, obviously the family stuff, but I mean, look, he knew what he signed up for.
100%.
And Nikki Glaser just was,
She was
unbelievable.
yeah, she was
Nikki,
really, really good.
Tony Hinchcliffe was
Hinchcliffe, all
spectacular.
time.
He shut it down. But I thought it was just good for like the world, honestly. It's like, all right, Tom is like, he's an icon. But also like, hey, we could tell some jokes and say some things, and it doesn't have to be the end of the world.
You guys-
no canceling anybody and all that.
100%. It's a lot what, at least in the NFL, it's a lot what the locker room is like, right? Like you walk in every day, and if you got a new haircut or you're wearing something that looks stupid, like people are going to be on your ass every day, and you just get thick skin. You get used to it, and I'm sure that was the same in New England.
And you like it. That's why you miss the
100%,
locker room when you're done. Like no one's giving me
100%.
shit.
And
Everyone's
nobody
all
gets
nice.
a pass.
Yeah,
no matter who you are.
No. It's almost like the more notoriety you get, the more shit you catch in the locker room.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And then the bigger the
100%,
contract, probably too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's also a nice part of it. I'll take all the shit when I'm making $50 million a year.
Yeah,
no
that's
big
okay.
deal.
Yeah.
Say a team's making a playoff run, loses their quarterback. Your phone rings.
I'm good, baby.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm drinking a tequila with a little orange
I
slice
feel like
in
you
it. playing
slimmed
some
up
golf.
a bit. I mean, I'm sure that's just natural.
100%. I've lost probably like 10, 12 pounds since I played. And listen, I'm proud of what I did during my time. And I'm comfortable kind of moving on. And I'm happy that I've got this incredible job at CBS and can still stay around the game in a way that I want to. But, my time's done. These guys are this young crew. Like, this is what I think is so good about the NFL right now. The young group of quarterbacks that we have in the league right now, I think is going to be special, right? And they're going to be fun to watch for the next, 10, 12 years. So the league's in a good place right now.
All right, well, let's put you on the spot. I mean, it's a long ways to go, but let's give a little Super Bowl prediction.
Denver versus who?
Denver versus Dallas.
Denver guy. One of
Look
them
out
might
for
have
Bo
a chance.
Nix and Zach Wilson. We might run a 2-quarterback set
Who's gonna
this year.
start?
They're the same
I'm
guy,
asking
so
you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell me.
I don't know.
Zach Wilson's got to start.
Early. I would assume early. I mean, both places Bo played, like systems are night and day from what Sean Payton has done historically.
Sean loves him.
Well, I'm sure he does, but I think it takes time, So I don't know. Denver will be interesting to see. Am I way too early, Super Bowl prediction? Like, let's not overthink this. Kansas City. I mean, they
against.
I think the NFC is what's is interesting to me, right? Like I think Dallas will be good. I do think Dallas will be good. I think Philadelphia bounces back. Like the end of the year last year was weird. I think my team in Atlanta, I think, is going to be good. You bring in Kirk Cousins. They draft Michael Penix, like kind of an interesting big topic of the offseason. But when you look at the rest of the team, I thought they were very good last year. On defense, I thought they, offensive line played well. Skill positions are good. I think they'll be pretty good in the NFC South. And then San Francisco, I think, is going to continue to be good. I played for Kyle Shanahan for 2 years. He's good, man. He knows how to dial it up. He knows how to put guys in a position to be successful. I think they'll be contenders. And I like L.A. too. I like the Rams. Staff's a buddy of mine, but I like what they did in the second half of the season last year. I thought they started to play some good football, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. They got a young group on the defensive side of the ball. So I think the NFC is wide open.
All right, so who you got to make a pick.
You got Kansas City from the AFC?
I'm gonna go San Francisco. I think we get. I'm gonna go with the rematch. Yeah, run it back. It was a great game last year, right?
Yeah, it was a great game.
That would probably be my early pick.
Jackpot Kansas City.
Subject to change, though.
Subject to change.
As soon as we get
we'll get a mid-season
update.
Yeah. We'll get a mid-season update.
Yeah. Okay.
During
come
the
back
course of
in.
the year. All right,
no problem. If you bring Tommy on, I'll come back in.
This will be after the tournament ends. Let's give a prediction. Where does Matt Ryan finish this week?
I don't know. If I drive it okay, I think I'll do fine if I can keep the ball in play. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully I shoot some good scores. I don't know where we end up. Isn't that what
He's very media savvy.
Isn't that what all the guys say every week? I just want to, play some good golf.
But I would
play
just
my
love
game,
for someone pregame to be like, I'm going to come out and rip everyone's ass.
If I lose to anyone, I'm going to kill myself.
I don't know, man. There's some really good players, so we'll see.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
Really
I'm a big fan of the show,
Thank you. We'll run it back. We'll play some more golf next time you're out in AZ.
And maybe Kami will actually get to meet you finally.
I'm Matt Ryan. I was quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. Nice to meet you, Mike.
All right, that was Matt Ryan joining us on Subpar. Please, I told you, the dude is awesome.
Oh, he's spectacular. I actually completely forgotten, but I played golf with him like a handful of years ago at the Rock, and we had a hell of a time. He's just like all the other quarterbacks. He can swing it. He's got pretty good fundamentals. They got great hand-eye. And he hit like a sneaky rocket or a way bigger rocket than I was expecting in the long drive competition, by the way.
Man, he is awesome. He is so talented. And I love his Kami story. Kami had no clue who he was after spending 36 holes with him. Typical Kami. That was beautiful. Also got to spend some time with my man Andrew Catalon in the booth last year. I know that was a lot of fun. I should have had him do his little voice exercises he does right before he went on air. But we don't want to embarrass Catalon like that. And then he did give us a Super Bowl prediction, and he's saying rematch Chiefs-Niners.
What do you think about that? You think he knows ball? You think Matty knows ball?
I don't think he's really going out on a limb, so I can't argue with it. But
yeah, it's tough.
Wouldn't be surprised.
It's tough. I don't know. After watching that Broncos-Colts preseason, shit might have changed. You know what I mean? A lot of people talking about that.
Bo Nix, look out. Here he comes. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thanks to Matt Ryan for joining us. The playoffs are here. FedEx St. Jude Classic, one of the coolest events on the PGA Tour. Everything they do for that great hospital and charity, it's awesome. But 70 guys, going to be down to 50 after this week. Let's make some picks real quick. Because I got to rush real quick. I got the Fern Dog waiting on me, who you know. And the big man gets a little impatient. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give you my favorite and my dark horse. My favorite, I think we agree on. Going off around 12-1, Colin Morikawa. He's a ball-striking machine. This golf course is perfect for him. And then going down the list, I was a little surprised considering his record here. I believe he's played 5 times. He has 4 top 15s with a win. Justin Thomas is going off at 45-1.
Okay, here we go. JT, and then, by the way, we're getting JT as dark horses now, which is different. But you've been playing some pretty good golf. Yeah, Morikawa, I'm on the same page with you. 12-1, I don't necessarily love, but 13th last year. fifth year before. Game suits this place perfectly. For my long shot Colt, I'm going, this isn't a limb. We would probably didn't think we'd get this guy at 80 to 1 ever, but I'm going to get Max Homa. Okay. He was sixth here last year. Hasn't been great like the last 2 months. It hasn't been terrible, but he's making cuts and just finishing towards the back of the pack. It hasn't been awful, but he's had like 3 weeks to kind of regroup, get a little time off, kind of cool down and gear up for these FedEx Cup playoffs. So I think at 80 to 1, that's worth a taste for Max.
All right. Well, everyone enjoy the start of the playoffs. Make sure you tune into the USAM. It's going to be incredible. And we'll talk to you on next week's Subpar.